Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing.
Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget is an animated science fiction comedy series co-created by Andy Hayward, Gene Chaplin, and Bruno Bianchi, and was originally syndicated by DIC Audiovisual and Lexington Broadcast Services Company. The show revolves around the adventures of a clumsy, dim-witted police officer from Metro City, named Inspector Gadget, a police officer, or police inspector, with various bionic gadgets built into his body, who is sent on missions to thwart plans by his nemesis, Dr. Claw, the leader of an evil organization known as MAD, while unknowingly being assisted by his niece Penny and their dog Brain. Inspector Gadget was the first show to be syndicated by DIC, who specifically created the series to help expand into the North American market, and the first animated series to be presented in stereo sound. The program originally ran from 1983 to 1985, broadcasting 86 episodes over 2 seasons, and remained in syndication into the late 1990s. The TV show actually proved to be a success for DIC, not only launching the Inspector Gadget franchise, including additional animated productions such as the 2015 sequel series, but also 2 live-action films, and also encouraging the company to produce additional programs like Heathcliff, my boy Heathcliff! We're not really talking about the 2015 sequel series, which I didn't know about, but we're actually going to be talking about the 1983 sequel series called Gadget and the Gadgetinis. That's what this video is about, so buckle up. Gadget and the Gadgetinis is an animated television series and the sequel to the 1983 series Inspector Gadget. The series was in co-production between Fox Kids Europe, DIC, and the French animation studio M6 Animation, and also French broadcaster M6 Metropole Television, and the British Channel 5, and the Italian media trade SPA. Man, it's a lot of things. But the show was first screened at MPI TV in 2002. Having been recruited by an elite international peacekeeping group called the World Organization of Mega Power, or WOMP for short, Lieutenant Gadget, promoted from his previous position of inspector, now fights crimes with a pair of mechanical assistants called the Gadgetinis, smaller versions of Gadget who were created by Penny due to Brain retiring from active duty, who are the unintended victims of Gadget's bumbling. As a member of WOMP, Lieutenant Gadget and his Gadgetinis still have to tangle with Dr. Claw and his organization MAD. The original creators of Inspector Gadget reunited for the series. Andy Hayward initiated the concept and was one of the executive producers. Gene Chaplin created and developed the show and co-wrote or wrote every episode, while Bruno Bianchi designed the main characters, as well as directing and producing the series. The show follows basically the same plot as the original series, with the clueless Gadget attempting to fight crime, while Penny and her helpers do all the work, and he takes full credit for it, when he had no idea what happened. Dr. Claw appears less frequently, and there are new villains for the group to contend with. Each episode would be budgeted at approximately $400,000 per episode. Saban was originally intended to distribute internationally Gadget and the Gadgetinis, and there was also going to be more Gadgetinis as the show would progress, which can you imagine that? There's 2 of them so far, but can you imagine if there was more of them? While Brain and Chief Quimby are mainly absent from the show, they do appear in pictures in Gadget's house. Each also appears as a special guest in one episode. Brain appears in episode 36, No Brainer, which reveals that it hadn't been traumatized after years of, helping out Gadget, and Gadget mistaking him for MAD agents. He decides to retire from crime fighting to live in a riverside house, which only Penny knows about. The mere mention of the word Gadget is enough to drive him frantic. Brain is also mentioned in the episode Rover. Chief Quimby appears in episode 45, Super Boss Gadget, and they both appear on television in the episode Too Many Gadgets. Maurice LaMarche, who you may know for being a lot of things, I will list one, Brain from Pinky and the Brain, but he's been in a lot more things. He continued the voice as Gadget, reprising his role from the Sunday movie tune, Inspector Gadget's Last Case, as did Brian Drummond and Tegan Moss, who played Dr. Claw and Penny. Gadget, here comes Gadget, Gadget, Gadget! This video Well, it feels kinda short, so we're gonna talk about the video game that was made for this series in 2004 for the PS2 and Windows. The video game has the same name as the show, so I don't have to, say anything else. It's a third-person platform game. Players take control of Gadget. Some sections include the Gadgetinis who offer help when required. Penny or the Gadgetinis tell what to do next. Penny informs about the power players can use to get further through the levels. There are also puzzle elements in the game. The plot of the game is this. All over the world, people are becoming mad. The World Organization of Maintaining Peace, aka WOMP, where Inspector Gadget works at, has discovered that it is due to a gas propagating all Earth or whatever. I don't know why I had a hard time saying that. WOMP suggests that, or suspects, not suggests, they suspect that Matt and Dr. Claw are the one doing it. So the mission of Inspector Gadget is to destroy the laboratories which produce the gas. Penny and the Gadgetinis help him on his mission and try to defeat the evil Dr. Claw. Developed by Eco Software and published by Hip Games, who had acquired the video game license after acquiring Light and Shadow Production in February 2004. The game was unveiled at E3 2004, following an announcement on May 5th, 2004. Only released in PAL regions, much like with the other game, Inspector Gadget Mad Robots Invasion. Now I know what you're thinking. How'd this game do? Well, let's quote JonTron.
It's awful. It's all fucking awful! It's all of it, and every single one of them sucks!
Yeah, the game received a score of 8 out of 20, which, that's really bad. But, yeah, that's the whole video. Thanks for watching, and all that stuff. Next video is about Littlest Pet Shop, not the 2012 show, although I love that show with all my heart. We're talking about the very first Littlest Pet Shop show. Ones that no one talks about, but I do, because I figured it out, people. I find this shit all on my own! Gadget, here comes Gadget, Gadget! Gadget and the Gadget team! Gadget,